Hello and a very good afternoon to the friends of the Global Energy Prize. Isamusis, it's the same hello in the Tatar language. Privet, buenos dias. How do you say it in Korean? Anun hasiyo. This and other languages are being used here in Almatsk in Tatarstan, from where today we will announce the names of the new winners of the Global Energy Prize for 2026. Tatarstan is well known as a region of the oil industry, innovations and agriculture. Here all the highlights have been combined to create biotech, which is now pitched as new oil and a tool for creating circular economy. For example, we have here the biogas plant sitting amidst agricultural fields. And here we are in a boiler house that runs on environmentally friendly wood chips and supplies heat to Aktyubinsky, an urban light settlement with thousands of residents. What wood are these chips made of?
These chips are from mixed wood of Tatarstan. To be precise, it's linden, oak, birch, aspen, and maple.
Everyone has attended middle school, but some may have forgotten the terminology. For example, I reminded myself once again of the calorific value.
The calorific value is always different. The maximum it can reach is 3,700 kilocalories per kilogram.
So these can be compared to hydrocarbons, right?
Yes. However, hydrocarbons are still higher in calorific value.
Well, and you decided to put those chips to use.
In any case, yes, hydrocarbons do need to be extracted from the Earth's crust, whilst wood is a renewable energy source that is, in fact, part of the environmental agenda.
To sum up, according to the existing rules, the settlement is of course connected to the unified power grid, but is in fact energetically self-sufficient. The houses have been upgraded to become energy sufficient. At the Global Energy Association, we are in constant search for new energy technologies and cutting-edge technological solutions. To understand how everything works here, we have brought the whole delegation of experts and journalists to this place. The guests from Russia and abroad have visited not only the previously mentioned innovative facilities of Aktyubinsky, but also a school in the village of Malgabush, which can be called modern even by urban standards. Nearby, in the same rural area, the guests are welcome in a local culture center built using a 3D printer. Alexei, can you explain me what it is?
This is Laureate Public Cultural Center, the highest building ever made with a 3D printer.
How tall is it?
10.1 meters.
What's inside?
Inside we have functional units. Those are cultural center, event hall, library, rural medical post, firehouse, and administration.
So this is the future?
It is. And we made it come true by printing it with 3D printers in half a year. We also innovated the process by adding silvergrass, an eco-friendly material. It is plant-based as well.
Oh, this is not only stone but also plant-based.
You're not going to believe me, but the plant component increased reliability.
Experimenting is a good thing, but oil is also needed for guaranteed energy supply of the industry. There's talk now of a hydrocarbon renaissance. In Shugurovo, a place where the first oil well in Tatarstan was drilled and where natural seepages of oil can still be seen here, and there on the ground we see our delegation again. So who are they, these experts advocating for a respectful and non-political dialogue about the paths of sustainable development of our planet? They are members of the Global Energy Prize International Award Committee. Let me remind you that this prestigious award that recognizes achievements in the energy sector has been in existence for nearly a quarter of a century now. Based in Moscow, its social and scientific projects are across many cities in Russia and abroad. This year, the awards nomination cycle, as usual, ran from January 1st to April 20th, and despite geopolitical turmoil, once again demonstrated a broad geographic reach. Representatives of 30 countries and territories took part in the process. Of course, it's a good thing that there are plenty of nominees from what we commonly call the usual suspects, northern countries. But the global south is also represented. For instance, Africa, where the awards event took place last year, and Latin America, where our conference was held this year. So on the way to Almatsk in February, we went to Quito, Ecuador. There, at the UTI University, we held our latest conference, Regional to Global, bringing together delegates from the host country, Ecuador, as well from South American Bolivia, Brazil, Uruguay and Chile. Along with these delegates and scientists from the United States, we looked at instances of Russia's technological leadership, using, as an example, large-scale development projects initiated by Rossetti, as well as the construction and maintenance of hydroelectric power plants, which Sergei Machechin from Rushydro spoke, addressing the conference attendees. Together, we went to Toachi Pilaton, a brand-new hydroelectric power station in Ecuador equipped by Russian suppliers.
One aspect of our operations is life cycle engineering. In particular, we can mention the large power station, probably the largest in Ecuador, Coca-Codo Sinclair. You are undoubtedly aware that there is a highly specific problem with the bed of the Koka River, which is being eroded. Unfortunately, this process cannot be stopped, but it can be managed. Undoubtedly, one of the top priorities is to preserve the existing power station, which accounts for over 50% of the country's energy balance.
In early June, during the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, the shortlist of the award was announced at the Peter the Great St. Petersburg Polytechnic University, which is also a co-publisher of our Global Energy Journal. Of the 63 nominees, 15 scientists were included in it, 5 for each category: traditional energy, non-traditional energy, and new ways of energy applications. Recently, 2,000 members of the International Award Committee representing 13 countries had a closed meeting. The discussions were lengthy and the laureates were chosen. Today, here at the High School of Petroleum and Elmetives, we will announce the names of the selected laureates. This will be done on the plenary session of the Tatarstan Oil Summit. Here, among other things, we're advocating for international cooperation. Mr. Maganov, in the context of today's geopolitical tensions, can the dialogue of international cooperation even exist?
Of course, it did not go anywhere, and it shouldn't.
Why, for instance? How does it exist?
Despite all of modern misunderstanding, we are living on the same planet and breathing the same air. This is what unites us.
To give you a complete picture, here's the historical background. Over more than 70 years of oil field developments in these parts, and particularly at the famous Romashkinskoye field, 3.7 billion tons of black gold have been extracted, making Tatarstan one of Russia's permanent leaders in terms of oil production. Today, however, we bring into focus a new perspective. The world is moving from barrels to molecules, sources of new technologies. So how is this approach being implemented? The answer lies behind the walls of scientific institutes and factories, where innovation transforms raw materials into plastics, fabrics and resins. Tatarstan is one of the nation's leaders in terms of the production of polymers and synthetic materials. Among other things, it means clothing, plastic production, medicines and car tires. By the way, these are not just any tires, but the green ones. This is Tatneft's flagship environmental project, with a large-scale system for collecting and recycling old tires and producing new ones made 90 to 98% from recycled materials.
Our tire lasts for up to 700,000 kilometers. Cycle after cycle, we recycle it with respect for the labor involved, with respect for nature, and for everything else. Then comes the time when we have to decide what to do next with this tire. We break it down to molecules again. Everything that comes out as a liquid goes to an oil refinery, where we make new rubber, and the tire recycling begins. We also break down the solid parts there into 3 or 4 components, obtaining silica, which can even be used in food products, zinc oxide and activated carbon, and we return all of this to the cycle once more.
Not only tires, even cosmetics and mattresses are made from polymers and synthetic materials. While these may seem like comfort items, there are others which bear vital necessity. As far as the medicine is concerned, there are things, for instance, from the first aid kit, like the aspirin, also the syringes or the lenses, also the vitamins, like B, C and D, which are more and more synthetic these days. Also, things that we wear are derived from oil, acryl, nylon, polyester. Now this belt is surely made of nylon. Where else is safety a significant factor? Where epoxy and polyester resins are used. That is anywhere where it is critically important to reduce the weight of the structure while maintaining its maximum strength. For instance, in the aircraft and space industry, in the automotive sector and shipbuilding, and of course in road construction for high-quality pavements. Let's go back once again to the place where all these, as they would have said long ago, alchemical transformations are taking place. The biotech cluster in Aktyubinsky has become a role model not only for the particular area, but also for remote locations in the north. As a result, population outflow from Aktyubinsky has ceased, and the circular economy implemented here has begun to attract new residents from big cities. Let us hear the impressions of Dr. Rekwe Chung, a Nobel Prize laureate, chairman of the Global Energy Prize International Award Committee.
Well, I'm very impressed, very amazed. The people at the grassroots level coming up with a real solution and engaging their future generation, young students, elementary school students, and even teaching them to understand what the circular economy means and how to recover energy from the waste.
Another example of innovation is the Taneco complex. Its recycling rate is at record 99%. Eliminating generation of heavy waste, this is one of the best performances in the industry. The complex ensures 100% return of treated wastewater back to the production cycle and uses flare gases as fuel.
Tatarstan has emerged as a pioneer in the extraction of carbon dioxide from various products. It has also learnt to use carbon dioxide to increase oil recovery. Furthermore, Tatarstan was the first to obtain a license for the injection of carbon dioxide into reservoirs, that is, for the storage of this resource, which can be extracted from a wide variety of facilities, including oil refineries.
The High School of Petroleum is the cluster's brain trust. Boasting a modern campus, the college based in Almatevsk works in conjunction with businesses and is open to both domestic and international cooperation for the application of scientific solutions in the field of energy and real industrial projects. Future engineers, scientists and digital solution developments continue to create a fundamentally new bridge between the oil upstream operations, oil processing and a new eco-friendly way of life. Alongside oil and biotech, renewable energy is also in the full swing in Tatarstan, with solar power plants and wind turbines operating there. Almatevsk is considered one of the most well-maintained and green cities in the country. And what about bikeways? Over 100 kilometers. They are among the longest in Russia. Almatevsk, an innovative and dynamic city home to people of more than 30 ethnicities, looks like a cultural kaleidoscope. By the way, does this number ring a bell? Yes, that's how many countries and territories, 30, participated in this year's Global Energy Prize nomination cycle. And that's how we've arrived to the venue of both the Petroleum Summit of the Republic of Tatarstan and the ceremony of announcing the names of the new laureates of the Global Energy Prize 2026. Let us start. Здравствуйте, уважаемые друзья.
Good morning, dear friends, dear participants of the World Summit of the Republic of Tatarstan. And this is the Global Energy, and I can outline and welcome. Come to the international meeting today. Throughout this, together we from the Tatarstan, from the land of Almatevsk, to the whole of the world, we will announce the names of the laureates of the Global Award. I remained the direct chairman of the board of the Tatneft company that was formed in North America. There was this perfect triangle: the state, the business, and science. Now it is pushing us to establish it. How does it work in Tatarstan? Triangle works. All three angles must work. There's no other approach. The state must identify what are the targets to be set for the science and how the business should be guided with it. It's not going to work out without the state. We need to have a specific state line.
Как вы полагаете, бизнес должен быть только заказчиком?
What is your approach? Should a business be just a technology customer or a full-fledged participant in scientific and technological work? First of all, I see loads of production people here. And of course, I see the youth, the students. In the current conditions, the business need to have to play a more important role and to be more brave. That is in this triangle, the state, the science, or the business. So the targets that are set in front of us, not at the level of our national state, but the challenges, the global. These are the global targets of the United Nations, and I would like to say that this is not a threat. This is a global opportunity for us. And when we list these global threats, we need to see the threats, how to turn it into the capabilities into opportunities. The state sets out, and I fully agree with Mr. Minikhanov, they propose top priorities that the business should be oriented. And here are two stories. The first one, these are the targets that the business shall resolve itself. It does not require large resources. And if you see the opportunities, then the best the best fruits are usually at the bottom. So that when you have covered the easiest targets, and then there are more difficult tasks, more capital intensive. And here is the state kicks in as the regulator, and in line with the top priorities, it gives the support, and then depending on the understanding and due to the fact that without the movement, without the science, the movement forward, it is not possible. And through the dialogue and through giving the science and working on the product, you get the result. As Mr. Minikhanov have said, all of the three angles should be active. I would like to now refer to Mr. Ray Kuo Chong, the chairman of the International Committee. Please share your impressions, Mr. Chong, your impressions about the technological aspects, ecological aspects of the new achievements. And I believe your impressions from the fact that in these new approaches that it was told to us from the school children and rural school children. Please, Mr. Chung, your impressions.
Oh yeah, good morning and good afternoon. Yeah, this is my first time to Tatarstan, and I was deeply impressed by the balance between the nature and industry and the agriculture. And the last 2 days, I visited many interesting sites. Number one, I was impressed by the leadership of the biggest company like Tatneft is doing a lot of technological innovations to promote ecological sustainability. And this morning, I was also impressed by the leadership of the government, led by Mr. Minikhanov, to have a direct, frank dialogue with the future generation. But this is very impressive for me, and I am very positive about the future of Tatarstan because the triangle which was mentioned by Sergei, the government, business, and science can work very well here. But I would like to suggest that I can add one more angle or pillar, which is people. The participation of the people can make this triangle even can be more effective, because the actions for ecology cannot be completed only by government, business, or science, but it has to be buy-in, supported by the bottom up, by the people. And I was seeing many governments, many countries. Many governments are trying very hard. Many businesses are doing very hard. But the last missing piece is the support from the bottom up. People have to support it.
Well, thank you so much indeed, sir. And but I dare criticize a bit the audience in Tatarstan. Look at the students and how many of them are using simultaneous translation. I hope that in a year's time there will be less of headphones on the heads and more of our heads are thinking simultaneously with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the 21st century, you should be speaking English. Ну да ладно. Как я сказал, на сегодня будет микс.
As I have said, today we are going to deliver the mixed topic of conversation about the triangle and the oil summit of Tatarstan today. This is the platform to announce the Global Energy Award winners. So a couple of words. It will be celebrating 25 years. It is granted on behalf of the President of the Russian Federation, and it is in top 100 awards of the globe. under the subsequent ratings. So we had cases when the person received the Global Energy Award and then he went for the Nobel Prize. We made it more proactive, and I believe that the organizers, they have the map, and this is the map of the nomination cycle of this year. As you can see, pretty much all of the countries of the globe are present, parts of the world are presented, and we are actively attracting the developing world. We have had the conference in Africa, and it was January to April. We take on all of the nominations, April and May. The application is reviewed by 3 independent technical experts. Transparent process. Then we create the shortlists for each of the nominations: traditional energy, non-traditional energy, and new means and measures of the usage of energy. And then it is reviewed by the international committee that includes 20 people, and the majority of them are not from Russia. To balance it off, there are more representatives of the developing world, and the international committee gets together and decides to whom they shall award the prize.
Traditional energy nomination. Nuclear energy. Alexander Batanov, Russia. Electric power industry. Amit Goel, USA. Heat power industry. Haisheng Cheng, China. Electric power industry. Yilu Lu, USA. Exploration, production, transportation, and processing of energy resources. Jorge Ancheta Juarez, Mexico.
In addition to the honor, there's 39 million rubles worth of the prize fund, and it is formed by our founders, Gazprom, Rosseti, and Surgutneftegas, and we have a partner relations with Tatarstan. For the second time, we are announcing the names. Last time it was in the Kazan City Hall, and today we are delivering quite subject about the global Russian Tatarstan agenda. And now I would like to provide the envelope to Mr. Minikhanov, who will announce who have won. Ilu Lu. So, it is, the text is written, which is clear to those who graduated from the technical university. And what is her major achievement? This is a number of technologies through which you can control the stability of the electric grids in the real time. So in the analysis, like milliseconds go for the analysis. This is the system of solutions allow us to provide for the cybersecurity and the stability of the energy networks. And it assists in implementing the renewable energy sources. And I would like to note the following thing, that we're setting these targets ourselves, trying to get the most of the candidates from the world. And this is the second lady awardee of the global energy. She's coming from China, but she's working in the United States. We have received a short video message from her.
I'm deeply honored to be selected as one of the 2026 Global Energy Prize laureate. To us engineers, it more than made up for the lack of engineering in Nobel Prize. It will give me newfound energy to contribute to a global energy prosperity. Thank you very much.
How do you wake up the talent and find the talent in yourself? How the young ones can pretend to the global energy prize? prize. With that, I would like to refer to Mr. Belazorov, representing the Agency of Strategic Initiatives.
Да, спасибо большое.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak and to tell you about what agency is dealing with. And we are, for like 15 years, we are searching. We are the agency for strategic initiatives to promote new projects. So our target is to search new projects, new solutions that can transform our life and answer those challenges that are set by the modernity. And one of the members of the International Committee of the Global Energy, one of those who was handpicking the laureates, that is director of the Moscow Energy Institution, one of the leading institutions for our energy sector, Nikolai Dmitrovich, is clear, and I would like to draw your attention to the youth aspect. What the youth initiatives that you are willing to support. So, but this is not a fantasy. What is the criterion of putting these initiatives onto the implementation at the completely new level? Good morning, dear colleagues. I would like to thank Sergei for invitation. I would like to kind of connect what you have said before about the triangle, the state, the business, and science, because this is absolutely organic. Those indicators that were quite organic, and it is clear that we're talking about the leadership. It is the opportunity to identify by science, then we develop the technologies, we implement them. And in that regard, Tatarstan and Almetievsk, they are showing amazing results of such interaction.
Антон Львович, присутствующий здесь, Максимов, тоже член Международного комитета.
Anton Lvovich, the way I see it, he could tell us a bit in more detail how this whole thing should work. How does it work when it works? Is it an artificial connection between the science and business and authority, or this is organic? Maybe you can tell us about this.
На самом деле в этом треугольнике государство, бизнес, наука есть довольно четкое распределение.
And within the triangle there is a distribution of roles, quite a precise one. We need to understand the strategic, identify strategic targets that would work with the citizens that compromise this society. There are targets that are appearing here, and they have to be resolved by business. We need the means for implementation. We need those solutions that someone should create. And that is the role played by science. In our institution and the Academy of Science and in the well-respected scientific organization, people deal with the creation of the range of scientific solutions which might be applicable for reaching of the target, and this should be quite extensive. And there is the fantasy starts to kick in, and people just do not think about the business consequences about their solution or invention. And that's where the interaction with business becomes of paramount importance, because business has to evaluate these solutions and to assist in implementing them. Because talking about the interaction with Tatneft company and the technology that we are implementing requires tremendous amount of investments. In none of the R&D facilities, whether it's fundamental or applied R&D facilities, they won't be able to deliver those funds. But the company, looking at what the science proposes, the company handpicks the solutions which will be profitable for the company and which will implement and reach the strategic targets, and which are scientifically reasoned. And here the mutual trust is of paramount importance. Once such relations are established, everything goes way smoother and way easier. So the science represents the menu, and there are like traditional courses that you can have to create the business or the technology on the usage, say, of the tires for fencing on highways. There are new solutions. So this is a new exotic cuisine, and the company looks at it and says, well, can we use it or not? But the companies that decide to go for it, they become the leaders. And here it is very important to understand what the science is doing, and also the ability of science to provide this wide range of solutions. And after the company tells what solution is the most important, to get concentrated of that. And our experience of interaction with the Tatneft company reveals that this is of principal importance, of the utmost importance. I would like to add the following here. Based on my personal experience, you come to a certain company, related to, say, government relations or GR, and you propose as a member of the board and said, and where's the money here? And everybody says, well, yeah, whatever. And now for the youth, it is very difficult with that. Well, frankly speaking, everything above 1 million rubles goes to the board of directors of the company. And we see it here, why we are in Almetievsk. Because the board of directors of Tatneft, where they were not overlooking the immediate returns of investments, and and they were doing and delivering despite the ROI. Mr. Minikhanov, you are the chairman. You are the chairman of the members of the board of Tatneft as a big professional. And where is that golden middle that you catch? The scientist comes to you and says, this and this. It's pointless at some time. You take it, you develop it, and you turn it around with the business logics. How do we establish such an approach? Our economy is based on oil industry, petrochemistry that is based on the raw materials that is processed by the oil producers and followed by the products further down the line. So for us, oil and gas complex for our economy, it is of paramount importance. And the thing is that throughout, since 1998, I'm with Tatneft company, and we have started with Mr. Takhodinov, and he was the engineer, and I was asking him, I was working in the rural areas, and they were constantly saying KRS, KRS. In agriculture, this is cattle or livestock. He said KRS, KRS, and this is capital repairs of the wells. So step by step, we were understanding the science. I'm not saying that I am the that I'm a big specialist. We visited Canada, we have visited India, and we have built refineries together. So for the Republic, Tatneft company is the company #1 in our region. And everything that is done today within the Republic, it is done thanks to Tatneft company that we have here. And we understand that today, without science, it is impossible to advance forward when we need to compete in terms of price, when the equipment becomes outdated, when the taxation burden becomes higher. And things here, there was Almetievsk Oil Institute we have had before. He was preparing the specialists, but now, this is a benchmark university for all of our country. This is Higher School of Oil. Have a look at it. Have a look at the infrastructure in Almatyevsk. Next to it, there's Tatnipi Oil or R&D institution. You have seen young scientists, boys and girls that deliver real projects. And you cannot do it like from the scratch. And everything got very, very close together. And in the country, the higher school is being reformed. The advanced engineering school, we have 6 of them. And it tells us that in one corner, or one angle that you mentioned before, it is impossible to advance forward without it. So, and we are implementing it, and yesterday we have had a dinner with Mr. Maganov, and that was very interesting for me. I have lots of other work to do, but today we have visited the exhibition, and I tried to submerge myself into each of these technologies that were presented. This is really very, very interesting. I'm very grateful for having the Oil Summit, which serves as the platform where we can see the young staff that starting from the school children and starting from the kindergarten, Statneft company is conducting this work. What is 10 kindergartens or 10 schools? So, and you see in the oil industry or biotech, biotech is very close to oil industry actually, and within our opportunities we utilize the oil industry, and we believe that this is the reserve for the future development of the Republic of Tatarstan. Have a look at the city. And not only the foreigners will come, because such a base, and the educational base, and there's everything that is there in the capital. Everything is there. There'll be a concert hall that are being created and improved. There'll be a new golf course, skiing resort. So when the youth comes, and we have the social lifts, if you are noticed, you will be of use here. So I welcome the audiences, the youth of the audience, and I would like to wish you successful and fruitful work. Work for the best of our country. Not only Tatneft, not only Tatarstan, but for the best of our country. With regards to the Almatyevsk being the point of attraction, I'm very cautious about asking from where they are from, because Kazan, Moscow, Ufa, this is very, very, and the Museum of Musical Tools. I was playing the musical instruments myself, and let's now move. And this is a non-traditional energy who is in the short list.
Non-traditional energy nomination. Renewable energy. Jose Heraclito Sagal, Chile. Ceteris A. Calagiro, Cyprus. Fuel cells and hydrogen energy. Yushan Yang, USA. Renewable energy. Josep Guerrero, China. Bhim Singh, India.
Как видите, мир, конечно, очень взаимопереплетен.
As you can see, the world is really interconnected, and the country we set out by the country where the person works. Chinese are working in the United States of America, and the person with a Hispanic name is working in China. And, Mr. Chong voted for it, and he will now announce.
Yushan Yan.
Я вновь попробую разъяснить важность работы.
I will announce the importance of the work, despite the fact, in case of research, there's pyroxide exchange membranes, and then the systems of management control for reduction of energy from the ammonia. The membranes are widely used, will be widely used, and with this Laureate, we are dealing with a person who is a scientist and the creator of a number of companies dealing the business, operating the field of various technologies, and we have received his video address.
It is a tremendous honor to receive the Global Energy Prize 2026. I am deeply grateful to the prize selection committee for this recognition, and I would like to thank my students, postdocs, collaborators, colleagues, and family. This award reflects the collective efforts of many talented people who have worked together over many years. Throughout my career, I've been inspired by the belief that creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship can help solve some of humanity's greatest challenges. Developing a clean, affordable, and sustainable energy system is not only a scientific pursuit, but also a responsibility to the future generations. I hope this recognition will inspire more young scientists and engineers to pursue bold ideas and work across disciplines. Together, we can build a cleaner, more sustainable energy future. Thank you very much.
I would like to outline once again that the names we are announcing today, and the awards will be going out throughout the Russian Energy Week. I would like to refer to those who are here in the panel. Mr. Byun
is a very interesting personality from our international committee, in a sense that until recently, his scientific and business interests were in the renewable sector. However, lately, William, you've been doing things in the oil company sector once again, sort of articulating their strategy in their development, and sustainable development in particular. As far as the experience of the Republic of Tatarstan is concerned, there are a lot of things that we've seen here. Big things, big industrial centers, but also humble, experimental things in the rural areas, which still draw the attention. What else should the locals pay their attention to? What would you say?
Maybe I'd just like to start with some observations I had. One is we kept on talking about the triangle, but it's important to note that the triangle is not static, but it's dynamic. And the problem is it's not flowing very well because of, frankly, a lack of movement of capital. But if you look worldwide, there's such a vast amount of capital ready for investment that has not been invested. It's estimated to be about $5 trillion of available money that just is not being invested. And at the same time, if you look at scientific and technical research, there's a tremendous need for money. So why is it that there's so much money that can't be invested and so much demand where money is needed? And one of the reasons is kind of the stickiness of capital flow. Now, this kind of ties back to why I moved into the oil and gas and process sectors. So right now, I'm back into the chemical sector, and I work with some companies that are engaged in the manufacturing of downstream chemicals. And this kind of ties into maybe the type of work I do and what I see here. I find that most of my time is not spent at the traditional factory or manufacturing plant, but is in going to Silicon Valley and dealing a lot with AI specialists. And when I talk about AI, I'm not referring to language-based AI, which is what most people see in the media, but more on physics-based AI. And this is where the integration of, let's say, traditional process industries and AI can maybe smoothen the movement of capital, especially to be that link between technology and investment. In the last few days, we've seen some of the things that you're doing locally in terms of, for example, more investment into social programs. For example, the universities, the schools, even the transformation of traditional housing, the contribution to the local religious and other institutions. Those are what people would think of as S in the ESG. And it's an area that maybe most people thought about as kind of a cost and not something very, let's say, capital useful. But one of the things that AI is forming the bridge of now, physics-based AI, is to take those kinds of what would be, let's say, social good investments, being able to quantify the measurement of it and transform it into a pathway for capital flow. So in other words, setting up the schools, helping local communities actually can make businesses more money. And that's where maybe the future direction is, that AI is not something only for AI scientists, but it's something for traditional process industries to be able to transform how they operate and ensure the better flow of capital.
Все слышали про литий-ионные батареи.
You have heard about lithium-ion batteries, and let's have a look at a wider scale. And there is a graphite anode in lithium ionic accumulators. Anodes, and it is very important. Not many people know that the inventor of those graphite anodes is together with us. He's Mr. Rashid Yazami, the member of the International Committee. And we can speak about the speed now, speed of implementation of the new inventions and what assists to execute it.
Rashid Yazami, if I can ask you about practical recipes as far as the implementation of such technologies is concerned. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I would like, first of all, to express my deep thanks to the Global Energy Organization and the Sergey leadership, the team. They did a great job, for collecting brilliant people, who deserve to be recognized for their work, and also giving this short list, and then allowing us to make the very hard decision to select among 15 very brilliant scientists and innovators to get only 3 of them. But this is the rule, and we, of course, have to obey the rule. The other reason I would like to thank the Global Energy Organization is to allow me to visit the Republic of Tatarstan. It's fantastic. These 3 days we have spent so far are really enlightening for me. I didn't know about the Republic. It's very far from my home country, which is Morocco. And now I learn a lot, especially about oil and gas industry, how important it is. Now, yes, you mentioned the invention of the graphite anode, and I would like to address to the young people here. I was only 26 years old when I invented the graphite anode that you have in your cell phone, and it's operating also electric vehicles in the future, energy storage, and so on. So in this Tatarstan country, which is very rich in oil, I think we have to think about the future, the energy transition, because although you have a big concern about the carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, very known, and to recycle it and to use it very efficiently to increase the energy efficiency of the systems. This is great. This is great. However, we have to diversify. We have to think about the future generation and what will be the next forms of energy that we need. Okay, so I think this is important that the oil university to think about other technologies that are emerging now, and especially what we call sustainable energy, green energy from solar, wind, and other geothermal sources of energy. So this is very important, and I think we have to young people to be aware that they have to think about, of course, Tatarstan as the country and the republic, but also about the Federal Republic of Russia and the rest of the world. So I was in Marrakesh, which is maybe a very famous city in Morocco. 2 weeks ago, temperature was 47 degrees C. And we have a very big heat wave in Europe, unprecedented. Last month, we broke records, okay? So we have to think about this. So I think the era of carbon-based energy sources is a little bit changing, moving to next generation of energy resources. And young people now, they have to deal with the mistakes we have done, our generation, by using almost infinite sources of energy. It's not infinite. Okay, so we have to think about the future. And I learned that actually one of the byproducts of oil is water. And that water that is extracted together with oil has a lot amount of lithium. So this is an area of innovation. How can we extract lithium, which is the future? This is the gold of the 21st century. Okay, so lithium is the key element for the energy transition. It has been recognized all over the world. So I hope maybe if I come back again to this university in a couple of years from now, there will be a department of research on lithium batteries. Thank you very much.
Not only the first member of the committee is just announcing that they would come back and they would deliver the lecture. I would like to thank Rashid for a very interesting thing, and to continue what we have mentioned, and on the sites in the rural areas and at the exhibition today, we have found a number of things that were not associated directly with the actions of the oil company. And I refer to them as the alternative sources of energy, like solar and wind, and, well, the new fuel station. It sells diesel, it sells gasoline, but it works on solar panels and the new wind turbines. I would like to refer to Mr. Maganov. How did you come to it? That would have been really strange. You sit there, yes, this is heavy oil from the water-filled layers, and we see loads of new stuff here. And for you, this is not a fashion, not like in Europe. You didn't have to do it. Why did you start dealing with it in the first place? There was a message related to lithium, related to the future. And I just wanted to tell you, well, frankly speaking, lithium for us, this is the industrial technology, and we are constructing the factory with 30,000 tons of sorbents, which will allow us to outline lithium, not with the bywater that we produce in water, but we start going to other regions, and outside of it, we get the results, and we get the results with the lithium. We drill the testing wells, and we extract lithium. All of the sorbents, all of these technologies, they were tested by our youth. There is from Rosa Fatichovna lab. The youth that have just graduated from the universities. It is they are among us, and they deliver. And I'm very grateful that that you have raised the importance of it. And thank you. How did we come to the closed cycle economy? And the first story. This is the practical part, when you have mentioned that the money is not the most important part. Well, we need to increase the cost of our company, or the value of our company, and the board of directors. And we are looking to it in the short-term period and the long-term period as well. Not only short-term. When we understand that in the long-term period, to raise the long-term, to raise the value of the company for the future, that will be about the people with the other culture. We have spoken today that there are issues that arise and that are announced not by the government but by the science. When we speak about the flexible triangle, is that the role of science. The science observes, the science monitors, and then the science has to be ahead of business. There will be challenges, there will be problems in the future, so correct your behavior, the government, the people, the business. So, talking about the sustainability, we understand maybe we need the people of the other culture, and that would be different from us. Before we were driven by the profits, mass consumption culture, production, consumption, profit, and production because of the profits. It's not the future. We will just destroy our planet if we will stick to this culture. And the closed cycle culture or circular economy culture, it's about a different mindset. It is about the different approach towards production. Loads was said today on the tire topic. Yeah, we have produced tires, and we are the largest producer of tires in Russia. We can guarantee the quality of the tires. We produce them. And the president of the Russian Federation, he uses our tires, and I believe this is like a quality benchmark. If they are used by presidents, the airplanes, the big airplanes, tires are ours. Cargo trucks, this is us. Cargo trucks, tires, this is us. We, but this is waste, they have to be recycled. And we have developed the technology, and our engineers who were designing the tires, were designing the tire that would last long, and they were designing the tires so that there's less wear and tear, less noise. And in addition to that, our designers of the tires, they're thinking about so that it is not assembled well, but that it is also disassembled well. Because we had a look at all of the components, that we bring it back into the cycle so that this can be disassembled easily, so that this will allow us to collect information not only about our life, but it will assist in getting the life about the people, how do they operate correctly. This is about the psychology, and this is about that we are responsible for everything because we are residing on the land. Yes, somebody observes, somebody controls, but we need to do it in such a manner that we understand it. And I'm talking about the people of a different culture and a different psychology that should arrive in the future when we speak about consortiums. And I'm talking about the practical history. Of course, these tires, we have seen it from the manager's point. That should provide the profits. There is such an opportunity. There is such a raw material. What can we manufacture out of it? What can come out of it? And what would be the marketing advantages for our products? Today in the world, there is a statistics, and everybody is for the green economy. Everybody is for the fact that everything is natural, organic, etc. But only 10 to 20% of people are willing to pay additional money for that. when we are talking with the colleagues, our product might be better because it will have a green part in it, and we went with the commercially. It came out as being very acceptable. Just a short commercial secret that I would like to disclose. We need our target is to make recycling of tires. 1 ton of tires will generate us a little bit more profits than refining 1 ton of oil. And we are talking about the fact that this might be harmful, but we have to be prepared for this future because it might strike out of a sudden. And when I'm listening to my colleagues that are talking about the heat wave that was unexpected, that this heat wave is worse than before. So I think the future might arrive way quicker than we wanted to. And so all of the technologies that we implement in Tatneft company, they can be of use for the people, for the part of the people, and for our industry. They can be of use from the point of view of, can I speak about the planet as a whole? And they can be of use for the planet and for our company, for our shareholders, because we own these technologies. We are familiar with them. We develop them. And we develop them as the large-scale captures, the distributed CO2 capture and everything that is can be transformed into the useful stuff for the humanity. So this is like about the merger of the responsibility for the long-term future of the company and the stakeholders, and the responsibility for the profits as of today, and the responsibility in front of those people among whom we reside, our republic, our country, and our city. Thank you so much, and the Republic provides great examples. For me, as a journalist, I'm quite lucky, and I have seen like the last shaft of the brown coal was destroyed. It was called the Podmoskovna well, coal mine. It worked with minimum profits still, and it contained molybdenum and they're just there of the former industry, and we could have done something about the molybdenum in the Moscow region, like lithium for water in Tatarstan. If you had a look at the exhibition, there was molybdenum and nickel from the fumes from the exhaust. And this is an industrial technology of capture of nickel and molybdenum from the fumes of the thermal power plants. I would like to move now to Dmitry Bessarabov. Bessarabov Dmitry is working in South Africa for quite a long time, where he considers the specifics of our today's session, and he's the head of the lab of the hydrogen in the Northwestern University of South Africa. And when I came to his lab, and he turned around, you know, the secret papers, so I was not able to foresee what he's doing. He's also a member of the governmental commission because he's the scientist that can work with authorities and to generate scientific projects that generate business successes. So in terms of Tatarstan and this particular part, what are undervalued technologies of the world you deem as being perspective in Tatarstan? Yes, Sergey, thank you so much for this question. On behalf of all of the members of the committee, I will say that we were absolutely amazed from what we have seen, from what is happening here in Tatarstan. And I can say that the advantage of what we have seen, this is a vertically integrated company, the company that can allow itself to look at the long-term perspectives and long-term projects and to resolve some innovative solutions and to implement them in the current production. And such examples as the increased output from the oil through pumping the capturing the CO2, and it resolved the tasks of the company. And what we have seen with regards to the social responsibility of the company delivers it with absolutely perfect pace. And the investments into the young generation. And at the university, we have seen digital twins of the oil-producing units. And this is very perspective area that will allow to create a great competition, and it will generate additional profits. And due to the fact that this is a vertically integrated company, and such as new areas of business, you have mentioned tires, and I would like to announce biotechnologies, the area of biotechnology. I believe this is a very perspective area, and this vertical integration of the company will allow us to bring in the new areas in the business, plus the other innovative approaches that are related to the financing. This is very important, and this company, throughout the structure, it can deliver all of it. And I would like to mention that the more volume and the more margin. So it's not only about the profits, it's thanks to the products that are within the product range after processing of oil. And this is a very important area. And so the investment into youth and the social responsibility, ecologically clean production, everything that we have observed, this has to be developed. What else shall we pay attention to? Of course, there are long-term projects, extraction of mineral raw resources, encatchment of rare earth metals, and these things, and this is quite clear and visible for them what they shall do. This is very important. Thank you so much, Dmitry. Now, let's have a look at the short list of our third nomination.
New ways of energy application nomination. New materials used in modern energy engineering. Laura Gagliardi, USA. Efficient energy use. Johann Walter Kohler, Switzerland. Efficient energy storage. Jun Liu, USA. Yulong Ding, United Kingdom. New materials used in modern energy engineering. William Andrew Goddard III, USA.
And our assistant, I'd like to give the envelope now to Mr. Nail Maganov, and he will announce the name of the winner.
Johann Walter Kohler.
So the major developments of these the Vienna rectifier and the T-shaped inverter. These devices are officially called that. And when preparing the ceremony, we have spoken with the colleagues from Match TV that deliver the broadcast as of today, and they were using the inverter. And when it was said, well, You see, we were aware who won yesterday, so the envelopes were prepared yesterday when they told them, so that this guy, they are the authors, for you to understand. So the global consumption of electric energy was decreased by just imagine, 75% of the fast charging stations for electric vehicles in the world use technologies created by him. We have the video from him.
It is a tremendous honor to receive the Global Energy Prize, and I would like to sincerely thank the International Award Committee for this exceptional recognition. I accept the award with great humility because scientific progress is never the achievement of a single individual. It reflects the dedication and creativity of outstanding PhD students, postdoctoral researchers, colleagues, international industry, with whom I had the privilege to work over so many years. Electric mobility, industry automation, robotics, modern data centers, and the electrification of energy-intense industrial processes. To me, the award is both. It is a great honor and it is a strong motivation. I'm very confident that in a collaborative effort across disciplines and nations, we together can advance technology and contribute to a more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
Ну, а я еще раз хочу подчеркнуть.
I would like to outline once again that what was mentioned and the laureates that prove that despite all of the geopolitical turmoils, which is very important for you, and year to year, they're thinking their teams, they're thinking their families. And then all of that was observed by the graduate of Higher School of Economics under the course of Industrial Biotechnologies, Ekaterina Makeyeva. She is together with us, and we will request her to share what is happening in the youth community and what do they think about the future of the energy. And thank you so much for a very interesting discussion, very useful discussion. With regards to the way we see the industry, and I believe it, and this is as the lab, and the way we see it, that there was one major amendment, the understanding turned around what is considered as a waste, and we in the lab, for instance, it was burned before, now it is important source of raw materials. We're dealing with lignin in the lab, and for decades it was considered as the waste. However, we shall say that lignin has a unique chemical composition and structure, allowing us to use it as the replacement for the oil-based components. So myself, with the scientific group, we are developing the tars on the basis of lignin, which can work as the technological additives for tires that we have discussed at large, and we are now moving towards the green tires thanks to such a waste as lignin. With regards to the future is not around technologies, I believe, but the future about the rapid implementation of technologies and people that will not just observe but will resolve the real tasks. And I have got such opportunities here, and I'm actually very calm about my future and the years to come. Mr. Minikhanov, please, I would like to request you to sum up of our today's session. What shall we think? What shall we do? Well, I would note a great work of our moderator, great work delivered by our moderator. We are very lucky that such a person is dealing with it, and thanks to summing up of the results, who will be the winner when they will be the winners? You have raised the ratings of our event drastically. Special words of gratitude to Tatneft company. Year to year, all of the events and the summer camps, the exhibition, and this forum, and working with geologists. And we have 30 small oil companies, thanks to Tatneft company. The small companies are feeling very well, and they continue. And our guests, a Nobel Prize winner, and other renowned guests. Let's give a big round of applause to our guests who have arrived here. They maybe praised us too much, but let's give another round of applause to them. We were very pleased with their evaluation. And the most important, and as I have said, the oil industry, global warming, global cooling, for us, we are not, there's not enough sun here. If in Morocco, if there is an opportunity to send some sun and heat from Morocco to here, we're not against it. We can go in winter to you, and when it is in summer, we will welcome you here, as it is very, very comfortable. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Minikhanov. I would like to thank you and Mr. Maganov, so that you have not forgot about us, about the organization of today's forum. And this is a great pleasure to take part in it. And I would like to thank our international guests. Thank you, and we will be seeing each other once again on the hospitable land of Tatarstan.